Well, good afternoon from the PPDS Master Showroom here in Amsterdam, and a very warm welcome to those of you joining us here in the studio, as well as to those joining us live online. I'm Vicky Fox, and I'm delighted to welcome you to our launch event of the Philips Tableaux 5150, the largest 32-inch full-colour ePaper display in the world. We're delighted to be joined here today by our colleagues from our technology partner e-ink, who are here to tell us more about the remarkable Spectra 6 technology within the ePaper display. And without further ado, I'd like to hand you over to our panel host, Mike Garwood, who's here to tell us more.
Thank you, Vicky. Hello and welcome to Amsterdam for this very special global launch of the new Philips Tableaux 5150 with Spectra technology. At 32 inches, it's officially the world's largest full-color ePaper display in the current market. So straight away, congratulations to PPDS on yet another first-to-market solution. As mentioned, my name is Michael Garwood. I am the content director at BeesBuzz PR based in the UK. And I'm excited to be joined here inside PPDS's spectacular new Master Showroom and I don't think they'll mind me saying, an esteemed panel of tech experts whom over the next 45 minutes or so will be taking a deep dive into just some of the features, the capabilities, and the opportunities available through the Philips Tableaux series and ePaper as a whole. So let's introduce them. To my right, we have Martijn van der Woude, who is the VP of Global Marketing and Business Development at PPDS, and he is the visionary in bringing ePaper back into the fold as a Philips professional display, something we will discuss shortly. To my left, we have Bart Wouters, who is the International Product Manager at PPDS, who has a wealth of experience in professional signage and other display technologies across different markets. Just to my right here, we have Max Chen. He is the Associate Vice President for the Business Center IoT Business Unit at e-ink. Now, Max has actually flown all the way from Taiwan to be with us here today, so special thanks to you, Max. And Max has been developing ePaper technology with e-ink since 2009, so there's no better person on the planet to be discussing ePaper technology. And last, but by no means least, we have Andrea Barbuti, who is the Global Product Manager at PPDS, and it says here, a leading light in the Android system on chip within Philips professional displays. Have you ever been called a leading light before, Andrea?
No, Mike, that's a first.
Now, one of the reasons I'm personally and genuinely excited to be here today is that back in January at ISE 2023 in Barcelona, I was fortunate enough to be on the Philips stand for the launch of the Philips Tableaux 25-inch model. And I've covered a lot of events in my time, and genuinely, it was one of the most exciting and probably quite intriguing launch events I've ever been witness to. The sheer demand from customers, the press, was unbelievable. It was literally a queue of people non-stop as word got round, looking to not only get in front of the Philips Tableau, but to actually hold it, to touch it, and even walk around with it. It was clear that the technology had really caught the imaginations and the attentions of not just the press, but customers alike. Now, naturally, ePaper is not necessarily a new technology. If you do some research, it's actually been around since the 1970s, and most people, and myself included, often think of e-readers when you think of ePaper. But it's fair to say that the technology has come on leaps and bounds in recent months and years, with PPDS not only taking a leadership role in the technology, but doing a huge amount in driving the awareness of ePaper. This was certainly the case at ISE when PPDS became the world's first display manufacturer to enter this space. So today, the company is going a step further. But before we go too far forward, I think it's important that we just take a step backwards. We understand that many people, some in the room, many online at home, are new to ePaper. It's perhaps a technology they're not necessarily as familiar with as, say, traditional LED or LCD panels. So, and that's absolutely fine. So I think most importantly, to kick things off today, my first question will be to you, Max. As someone that lives and breathes this technology and has done since 2009, please tell us, what actually is ePaper? How does it work? and how has the technology evolved to where it is today?
Thank you, Mike. You maybe know the Amazon Kindle is a very famous e-reader device. It takes the e-ink technology. It's through the electric field to move the ink. It only needs the power, just you want to change the image. And the ink technology, we don't need the backlight, just can take the ambient light is okay. Just like you reading on paper. Ink, we work around this technology almost 30 years. And we want to bring make the service smart and green as the consumer as well.
Thank you, Max. And the zero power element, I think, is a fascinating one, and one we'll definitely be picking up on more shortly. And it's actually one of those ones where, witnessing it on the ISE stand in Barcelona, people sort of struggle to comprehend. So thanks, Max, for that. And to Martijn, when did you first identify ePaper as a solution that would ultimately see PPDS become the first leading manufacturer to introduce the technology into the portfolio?
Yeah. Thank you, Mike. So 3 years ago, we started to put more effort on sustainability. We see the market changing, more regulations, more compliance. So that's where we started. But we had also the desire to go in the products. And that's because also Royal Philips, as a brand, put a lot of effort on sustainability. So we started with R&D on our existing products, our LED products, our LCD products, bringing the power of those products down, making them modular, etc. But actually we're waiting for a technology that is really driving sustainability, that is basically sustainable itself, and that was ePaper. Problem with ePaper was, Max talked about Kindle, small size, black and white. But now the technology evolved to bigger size. We started with the 25-inch and to full color, which is very important for retail, for corporate. You want to have a good color reproduction. So we waited until that time. You said it yourself, you saw it for the first time. We make it unpluggable on the ISE, so you get the plug out and the picture stays on. That's the magic of this technology. And for us, it's actually the crown of the work on our sustainability efforts.
Yeah, it's certainly caught the imaginations of the public and obviously, more importantly, customers alike. And Martijn, just to continue with you, this is something I actually learned just before we came on air. I understand that the relationship with e-ink isn't exactly new either. Can you tell us more?
Yeah, it's actually from 1997, e-ink started. And in 2005, important patents were taken over from Royal Philips. And then e-ink focused on that technology. Philips brought a lot of innovations to the market, as we all know, but the focus of e-ink was important to make it what it is today. And it's, of course, great for us all here on the table that partnership now evolves in being the first in signage with a full-color display, with that heritage that we have with the Philips and the e-ink brand.
No, it's really interesting. And that makes me wonder a little bit, Max. Clearly e-ink has concentrated on technology for e-readers, which makes complete sense. I don't think you'll struggle to find any home without some form of e-reader in there. So obviously that's a much bigger market. So how focused is e-ink on continuing to develop signage? Developing for the signage market?
Thank you, Mike. E-ink mission is to make the surface smart and green, whether e-reader for consumer or signage for the business. Based on ePaper low power consumption, so it's more powerful than the paper poster. And it also can support the sustainable for the smart city. As we know, the PPDS taking the ink technology with their total solution, bring the unique, the selling point can be used for them, then their product can more smarter.
So this is definitely a product, you're in this for the long term then?
Yes.
Fantastic to hear. Now, you mentioned USPs there, so let's actually pause for a short video just showcasing some of the features of the new Philips Tableau and Spectra 6. Welcome back. Fantastic video. And there was a lot of examples of where Philips Tableaux can be used, which showcases its versatility. But Martijn, what would you say is ePaper's primary purpose? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people at home or in the office watching this thinking, why not just buy one of the many digital signage solutions you guys already have in the portfolio?
Yeah, Mike, we are still learning, I must say, about the product. So what I tell you can be in 1 year different. But what we see now is that clients like the product because it gives a very powerful image, like paper, but it's dynamic. So you can change the content. It's not a product which can show video, for instance. So you need to look at applications where the refresh of your picture is low. And where color accuracy is very important. We see even showcase, which we will later see in museums. So it's a special product that we now learn should be more compared with paper than it should be compared with signage or LED.
No, it's fascinating. I mean, just even at the airport this morning, I couldn't help but look around and see so many examples of where Philips Tableaux could very easily replace just a general paper-based communication. No, thank you for that. So I think this solution, both the original Tableau and the new one, I understand, as was just mentioned as well, can display content entirely power-free and unplugged. That's quite a difficult thing to kind of come to terms with almost. Max, tell us more. How does that work?
Okay, we call it by-stepability. It requires power only when you move the ink in the electric field. And after will remaining the static image when we remove the electric field.
Yeah, it really is a fascinating one. Again, sorry to keep going on about ISE, but that was the one thing I think that people just couldn't come to terms with. And we've got a nice anecdote about that later on. So go to this side of the table now. Andrea, Bart, it's great to see you guys. I'd actually like to extend my original question to you both. With careers largely focused around LCD and LED panels, what was your knowledge on ePaper like when Martijn first discussed it with you? And what were your immediate thoughts about the technology and indeed the opportunities it might provide? So Andrea, let's kick off with you, sir.
I was also familiar with the ePaper technology out of my e-reader. But when we saw we could display full color images, we saw it was becoming something interesting for the old signage industry. And that gave us the opportunity to develop something new and to have it as part of our Android ecosystem as well.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And Bart, it'd be interesting to get your thoughts.
Well, when you speak about opportunities it could bring, we first spoke to our customers, end users and system integrators in the retail, corporate, as well as hospitality verticals during our Future Tech event in 2022. And obviously we've gathered a lot of feedback from that user group and built that into the solution that exists today within the Philips Tableaux, making, to give an example, also remote device management and content management possible as well.
Fantastic. And just to continue with you, Bart, as well. So since unveiling the first Philips Tableau, how would you describe the reaction you've had from customers and partners so far?
Well, to be honest, it's been quite overwhelming. Exactly. We first showed the Tableau during ISE at 2023 in January. And to be honest, people were really enthusiastic to see this new product. They all wanted to get to see it, get to understand the product itself, and more importantly, the possibilities it could bring to them. Now, throughout the rest of the year of 2023, we had numerous very high-quality conversations with end users and customers as well, very specific to certain projects they were thinking about of using it. And of course, last but definitely not to forget, our first sustainable digital art exhibition, which just happened last week in Milan. It was very exciting as well.
Absolutely, and that's a perfect segue, so thank you for that. So talking of that exhibition, let's take a quick look at some of the highlights of what was called the Muse Digital Art Exhibition in Milan from last week. And welcome back again. I think that's actually the first time some of us have seen that video. It's certainly the first time I've seen it. And it's a really fantastic example of the versatility, I think, of the Philips Tableau, be it for a permanent installation or even just something very, very temporary. So if you want to learn more about that, please visit the PPDS website. Martijn, away from the art gallery in this instance, where are you seeing some of perhaps the biggest interest to date with Philips Tableau? I mean, have you got any examples that you can share with us where the solution has already been deployed or about to be deployed and how it's actually being used?
Yeah, so we should keep in mind it's a new category. So we have in a lot of verticals actually more than we expected. We have interest. We have done small installations, a little bit larger installations. We're working on breakthrough installations that will really bring this technology to the next level. But retail, of course, is we have deployed it in supermarkets, a set where low refresh rate, color accurate advertisements are important. We also have installed it at airports where you have certain mandatory data that you need to show. And of course, museums are very interested. We all know that digital art is becoming more and more popular, but also museums have the burden to be sustainable. So we have seen many installations that surprised us in the last year, and many are there to come. Of course, there is a pressure from us to go to larger size. Max knows this. But with 32-inch, we think we are well positioned to go to a next level of ePaper technology.
Fantastic, and it's interesting as well because obviously you mentioned retail. There are retailers that just have standalone stores. There are those with multiple stores, which I think is probably where Wave would come in as well in terms of that control and management side of the technology. Andrea, another one for you, sir. Based on what Martijn was saying, then I guess am I to assume that this can be used either as a standalone solution or as part of a fleet of displays? For example, like we just mentioned in a retail store, where video is not necessarily required all the time.
Absolutely. Old size of Philips Tableaux can work very well as a standalone solution, but it's thanks to the Android SoC that you can actually unlock a lot of more features, like claiming it on PPDS Wave and having remote management and content control, or making it part of an existing fleet of other displays or replacing paper posters. And the quality of these Spectra 6 displays as well is so nice and so good that it's hard to tell the difference.
And you've actually just you just reminded me of something as well with the Philips Tableaux original launch. I actually when I was coming back from ISE, I think I'd arrived in Luton or Gatwick, I can't remember exactly where. But unbeknown at the time, we were on the shuttle bus from the runway, I think, to the airport, and there was some people that didn't know who I'd been working with that week. And let's just say that they work for a competitor now in the ePaper display space, and they were having a pretty heated debate, actually. There was 3 or 4 of them. They were having a discussion as to whether or not the Philips Tableau that was on display on the ISE, on the Philips booth at ISE, was actually real or not. So there was 2 arguments. One was very insistent, no, it was just a prototype. So what they had was the image that was being displayed was in fact paper. On the other hand, very, very in their defense, saying, no, I actually witnessed it being changed, the image being changed. So that was quite an interesting one. I mean, what do you think to that, Martijn?
Yeah, no, we had the same experience at the ISE. Our product manager made a brilliant idea because how you show this technology. So we put it on a monitor arm, a swivel arm, and there was a sign on it, unplug me. And if we left that for 2 minutes, 3 minutes alone, people unplugged it and the picture stays on. So I think that experience that you described, that people think, is it real or not real, it says something about the quality of the product itself. So the color production under ambient light, without any backlight, is stunning, and that's why you should visit us at ISE again, look at the 32-inch. But I understand that people get confused because the picture quality is really amazing.
Yeah, no, it really is fantastic. And of course, just as mentioned there, technology never sits still for too long. So no sooner are we talking about the Philips Tableau for the 25-inch model, just a few months, it seems, after that, we're now talking about the brand new 32-inch Philips Tableau 5150 with e-ink's Spectra technology. So I think, to go into this side of things, I think I guess the first thing to ask, and we'll ask this to you, Max, is other than size, which we'll discuss more in shortly, is how the new Philips Tableau 32-inch differs from the original 25-inch model. Now, Max, I also understand that this is actually the world's largest full-color ePaper solution to run on Spectra 6.
Okay, Spectra 6 is the latest ink color technology, and we using the white, red, yellow, and the blue 4 different inks. It can show the white, yellow, red, green, blue, and black, the 6 primary color, so it can perform the 4 colors.
Yeah, and it again, like we've said before, once again, this really is difficult to tell the difference between a sort of a glossy paper-based communication to the obviously the ePaper version. So, yeah, the Spectra 6 platform, it really is a fascinating platform. There's so much with it. I think I do encourage people to go onto the PPDS website, or indeed the e-ink website, to learn more. There's some really interesting features there as well. So I think, Bart, if we can turn to you again on this one, what were your thoughts when you first saw the Spectra 6 technology?
Honestly, it really blew my mind the first time I saw it. It's, It's one of the best ePaper technologies I've seen so far. You can clearly see the benefit of having the 6 base colors, as Max rightfully explained. It offers a very good color reproduction, very decent color depth and contrast. So it really is a step up compared to the other e-ink technologies. And to be honest, I'm very excited to be developing on this new product as we speak.
Sure, and that, again, that really does emphasize the fact that PPDS, when it comes to ePaper technology, is absolutely leading from the front. And Andrea, I understand the new Philips Tableaux also joins PPDS's ever-growing SoC family. So what does that mean in terms of capabilities, and what does it mean for the customer?
Well, for the customers and for our software partners, it means they can expand their portfolio of supported technologies, now including also ePaper, just using the same systems and the same software they were using before. So it gives them the possibility of having even more sustainable solutions, replacing paper posters and just using the same content that they use on the rest of their network of displays.
Fantastic, thank you for that. And it's worth just mentioning as well that the new 32 Philips Tableaux is an extension of the series. It's certainly not replacing the 25-inch model. Far from it, I'm told. So I think another question for you, Martin, in this one. Where would you perhaps say the 32-inch differs in terms of its appeal compared with the 25-inch and vice versa? Is it just about size?
No, it's a different technology, which we heard from Max and from Bart. It's definitely different. It's almost 4K resolution, which you clearly see. And of course, 32-inch, 16 by 9 by itself. Yes, I talk about paper replacement, but it's a screen size, which gives the benefits to clients to still use their 16 by 9 content. So that's why we use that. But the 32-inch is where signage starts. If you look at our range, then also in standard signage, it starts with 32 by 9. So we are very happy that that product is now ready to launch on the market.
Excellent stuff. And Bart, that actually leads me perfectly into what size. What is the perfect setting, would you say, for the 32-inch Philips Tableaux, and where it gets its most benefits?
Yeah, well, as Martijn explained, the 32-inch is perfectly fit as a replacement for paper posters, and 32-inch being more or less the A2 paper format, so it's ideally suited for that. Together with the high-quality color reproduction, makes it very hard actually to tell the difference between real paper and the Philips Tableaux. And yeah, on a daily basis, we're basically also learning new use cases from our customers to whom our salespeople talk to. I mean, you would be surprised what kind of ideas they come up with. So its beauty is really its versatility.
Its beauty is its versatility. That's a fantastic one. Now, it's also worth noting that, as we've kind of alluded to earlier, that PPDS is no longer the only leading display manufacturer that has adopted ePaper technology. So, Andrea, this is another good one for you, I think. What does PPDS have that the others in the market do not?
Well, with this Tableaux 5150, we have the largest full-color Spectra 6 ePaper signage display existing now. On that, we added our Android SoC, so to make it part of our ecosystem and to give ability to our software partners to integrate with that as well. We added Power over Ethernet, so it's even easier and installation it's more flexible. And we use 16 by 9 aspect ratio. So we use standard resolution, inch size and aspect ratio. So we can replace paper posters worldwide, not just some sizes, but it's globally recognized and it's compatible with every content that our partners are already using.
And having that long-term partnership relationship with e-ink puts PPDS in good stead for when it comes to bringing out the next evolution of ePaper technology, no doubt. Right, before we take some questions that have been sent in, thank you for those. PPDS has been making a lot of noise around sustainability, and Martijn, you mentioned that earlier, so I'll direct this back to you again. With the Philips Tableaux able to function on zero power, presumably that's a key part of that sustainability strategy.
Yeah, we all know that. I think we are already quite conscious about sustainability in the society for the last 10 years. But I think in the last 2 years, we became very sensible about power consumption. So we see that at our clients, that the total cost of ownership of signage becomes into play. So people really compare it with existing signage technologies and do question themselves, do I need to refresh data every now and then, or can I use ePaper technology? Because the total cost of ownership is good. But that doesn't mean that with the zero power ePaper technology that we not focus on the other product categories. We have big R&D efforts going on at the moment to go the extra mile. We, again, on the ISE, we will launch groundbreaking technologies also in signage and also in LED. But as said, and of course it's the star of the show today, the 32-inch, zero power is amazing in display technology. And we'll keep on being dedicated to that technology, sizing it up, giving better color reproduction. And we don't know what is the next step, but it will be amazing.
It does sound it. Thank you for that, Martijn. Yeah, so I guess that kind of concludes my line of questioning, but you guys aren't off the hook just yet. We've had some external questions, so I'm just going through them now on my tablet. So, and my apologies, I don't seem to have the names of anyone on there being displayed here or the companies, but you'll know who you are. The first question, I think, so we'll aim this, Max, this is a good one for you. So great news about this new, bigger 32-inch. When can we see something even bigger?
Yeah. We understand that everyone wants the larger size. Yes, we have the plan, a new production line can produce the larger size color ePaper already. Please bear with us, they are on the way. And also it's the new technology and the new design. Providing the best quality for our customer is essential. We are looking forward to continue develop the new product with the PPDS Tableaux in the future.
Fantastic. So, excuse me. So very much a watch this space, but we're not revealing too much at this minute. So, okay, great. Let's have another look. So we've got a similar question from someone else. What do you think will be the next size? Andrea, why don't you take this one on?
In our case, I can say, stay tuned. Come at ISE 2024, and you will see that our plan is to help businesses into changing their paper posters of any size. So yes, there's still some R&D needed to get to bigger sizes, but we have smaller sizes as well in the lineup.
Excellent. So again, one to keep an eye on, but not revealing too much. I should just rewind, actually, when Martijn was talking about sustainability, if that is something that you're interested in, and let's be honest, every business should, please go to ppds.com. There's a huge amount of information and reports on there, so it's well worth taking a look once this is concluded, of course. Martijn, this is a great question, something we've actually not covered in the discussion so far. Can Philips Tableaux be used outside?
That's a good question. It's a technical thing, a physics thing, but I think the technologies of today can be used outdoor in cabinets, so in enclosures that protect it somehow from the environment. But the nice thing about ePaper, if you take your Kindle outside, it gets brighter, which is with LCD the other way around. The more sunlight, the less bright. And with ePaper, the color production actually gets better outside. So put it in an enclosure, it will have a wonderful display.
Fantastic, thanks for that. And we've got another one. So this is kind of touching on, we have touched upon it, but it's perhaps worth just going into a little bit more detail. Zero power sounds incredible. How is that even possible? I think Bart, why don't you take this one?
Okay. So as Max already explained, the pixels contain microcapsules, which actually contain the different colors. And you need an electrical field to be there to pull the microcapsules in the correct position to generate the image. Now, the nice thing is, once the image is there, you can just cut the power. It doesn't require any electricity for the microcapsules to stay in place. So that's one. Next to that, of course, it's based on ambient lighting. The brighter, as Martijn said, the brighter the image gets, the better you can see it. So it doesn't have a power-hungry backlight as well. So that's the second thing. And then thirdly, you only need a very small amount of power for actually changing the content for a very short period of time even. So all of that together makes that it's very, very power efficient. And if you want to find out more, there is some very nice infographics as well on our ppds.com website.
Fantastic, good mention. And we've got another question actually, and this kind of resonates with me a little bit. Someone I used to work in retail back when I was a bit younger, and the sheer amount of wastage that we used to get almost on a daily basis. I mean, it was almost like it was going out of fashion. There was certainly no concerns around sustainability or recycling or anything back then. I mean, there were sometimes occasions where, you know, we'd have a new poster, it would go up, or a team would come and deliver it, they'd put it up, and then they'd be back the next day, sometimes even the same day, because there was a slight error, maybe a spelling error or a particular deal that was no longer, or shouldn't have been advertised at this point. And it all just went straight in the bin. So this is, again, just a long way of getting into this question. This person is interested in replacing the A2 posters in their retail store and wonders what savings are possible. And again, Andrea, if we can get your thoughts on this one.
It's exactly what you said, first-hand experience. If you replace paper posters with ePaper technology, first of all, environmental saving, less paper waste, a lot less paper waste. And then you get this technology that is a digital alternative, so you have also the possibility of changing the content and managing the displays. So you're saving on paper, you have very little power consumption, and you're also saving all the driving and moving and having people around actually swapping posters.
And with rising energy costs, this is a very, very easy way for any business to save money and immediately, effortlessly improve their sustainability credentials. Makes sense to me. This last question, I think this person may have just missed some of the comments which have been made. So it's a great opportunity. Martijn, we'll give this one to you. Will the new Philips Tableaux be on show at ISE 2024?
It will be, with the help of e-ink. Max, thanks for flying in today. It will be there. So can be unplugged, can be powered. We show you all the features of the product and how good it actually looks. It is on the booth 3P, with a P, of 500. So 3P 500. And of course we show all kind of other technologies. But I'm sure that ePaper Tableaux will be a shining star on the show again this year in 24.
Yeah, I mean, I've had...
Next year, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a little look at some of the products that are going to be announced. So in addition to the Philips Tableau, there's an awful lot to see. But in particular on the Philips Tableau 5150, it really is a product that has to be seen in person to be believed. So make sure that you do add, just that one again, 3P500. That's the Philips stand. If you're on the ISE website and you're looking through the exhibitor section, don't search for PPDS because you won't find it. Type in Philips and it will tell you exactly where you need to go. So again, thank you very much, everyone. I think that's pretty much all the time we have now. If you have submitted a question to the team, my apologies for not answering it now. I have been reassured that the team at PPDS will send all today's questions and answers in a single email soon. So you'll not only get the answer to your question, you'll get everyone else's as well, which should help. So please do keep an eye out in your email for that. From me, personally, once again, congratulations to PPDS on what is another fantastic product. My thanks, obviously, to the panel. I hope you've enjoyed it. And to all in the room and to those watching at home. As mentioned in the QA right at the end, the new Philips Tableaux, along with all the company's latest and greatest solutions, will be on the Philips stand 3P500 at ISE in Barcelona in January. And we, of course, look forward to seeing you there. Thanks again, and have a wonderful day.